Hello, and welcome to another episode of Between Eden and Arcadia, a sleep token podcast, very amateur like, made by two friends that met through social media. We're Leah and Crow, and welcome back to today's episode, where we will talk about the first years of Sleep Token from 2016 to 2019. Welcome back, everyone. Crow, are you awake? Do you live? What's going on with you?
No, I'm dead, obviously. Just a quick disclaimer, if I sound like shit, it's because something is going on with my throat, so yeah.
Something's going on with the throat. Okay, this means we have to postpone the episode. Okay, bye. Not just kidding. Yeah, mine is cracked up too because I just came home from work. I just had dinner. I have a food baby going on. It's just a food baby. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. So yeah, as I said, we will talk about the first years of Sleep Token. Yeah, I'm definitely so prepared for this. Yeah, maybe I was too engaged with all the situation of like promoting this podcast. So yeah, we might have some listeners now. Who knows? But yeah, I'm glad to be here again to talk about the best band in the world.
Which band is that? I don't
It's
know who
called
you mean.
Sleep Soken.
Never heard of them. Who is
Yeah,
that?
like the front singer's a person called Iaso V. Kidding. Yeah, like it's like very interesting. Crow, have you seen the Wikipedia article of Sleep Token?
Sure, I've seen it.
I mean, do you know that Sleep Token exists of two members?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, like this is a disgrace. Where are three and four? It literally just says, you can see it here, Vessel and two as the members. Excuse me, where are three and four? This is a disgrace. But yeah, actually, it's also like very interesting when you're going to the Wikipedia article. It literally shows a different picture when you switch from the English version to the German version. So this picture right here is from the English version, and this one from the German. It's very interesting. I mean, you know what? I will try something. What will happen if we're going with the Russian version of it? Oh, we have another picture, and it's from 2022. Wow, that's interesting. Okay,
I
so
think I'll
apparently,
have to open Wikipedia alongside you.
yeah. So we can just like show you a lot of pictures from the different articles. It's very fun. But yeah, this is what we are gonna talk about today. It's about like the first 3 years before they released Sundowning, because there's a special reason, and I think Crow would like to tell you what this special reason is.
I'm sorry, I'm still opening Wikipedia.
Okay, so they're just opening Wikipedia. That's the reason, basically. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to us, very professional about it again.
Yeah, I was a bit distracted. I'm sorry.
Mm. Well, we are very prepared, as you can tell, guys. Gender neutral set. Yeah. So it's well, do you want to explain the reason why we want to seclude Sundowning from today's episode?
Of course. Now I got it. So, since we're just starting out, basically, we can concentrate on a bit smaller scape, and also because the whole sundowning, this place will become your tomb, and Take Me Back to Eden is supposed to be a trilogy, so we can do all of those three together. So it's more concise, I guess.
Exactly that is the reason. We want to see the Eden trilogy as such, and I think you would be upset if we didn't do it. So I think that's the only way to do it. But yeah, so for starters, when we're going to open Sleep Token's Wikipedia article, it literally says Sleep Token are an English rock band formed in London in 2016. Its members remain anonymous by wearing masks. Oh no shit, really? After self-releasing their debut EP1 in 2016, the band signed with Basic Records and issued a follow-up EP2 the next year. The group signed with Spine Farm Records and released their first full-length album Sundowning in 2019, which was followed in 2021 by This Place Will Become Your Tomb. A third album, Take Me Back to Eden, was released in May 23. Their fourth album, Even in Arcadia, was released in May 2025 through RCA Records. Yeah, the gag was inside the Wikipedia article. I don't know what you mean. Um, so yeah, this is like literally the introduction. The genres actually are pretty interesting. They are described as alternative metal. I can see that. Progressive metal, yeah, R&B, post metal, indie pop, and Gigant, which literally is just a subgenre of progressive metal termed for an onomatopoeia of the guitar sound that characterizes it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
very
you.
characteristic about the guitar in Sleep Token. It's very chunky, which is that genty sound.
Yeah, thank you, Wikipedia, for also explaining this beautiful term, I guess. So yeah, this is like basically what you will get at first. It's pretty interesting. And as I told you, there are only two members, Vessel and two, according to Wikipedia. And I'm sorry, Henrik Cavill, but we use Wikipedia as a source of information.
I'd like to interject, if I may.
Permission is
The
granted.
whole the whole two members is just the recording members because Vessel and two are the only ones in the studio, but Sleep Token as a whole also has obviously number three and number four.
And the
Who we
Aspera Girls,
Yes, who we all know and love. But
obviously.
when it says Vessel and two, it just means they're the recording artists. Just
Exactly.
in case someone doesn't know.
We here also to educate people who have no idea who this band is or like isn't too familiar with everything. So welcome to also educating you on Sleep Token. Thank you very much. So yeah,
Bildungsauftrag.
yay,
Again.
another Bildungsauftrag, yay, as we should. I'm also like very prepared when it comes to Sleep Token. And also like the very first beginnings. So I was also like checking how they were introduced in magazines like the Kerrang ones or also in the Metal Hammer ones with the beautiful cover with the snake. So yeah, as for one Kerrang magazine, David McLaughlin introduced it with The Great Unknown, which is in my opinion very funny, which is also a song of Enter Shikari. I don't know if this is like a coincidence, but I really love this. And he started with the words like to introduce the entire article. Like for the first page, he went like millions of listeners, sold out arenas, now identity. Sleep Token's unstoppable rise has been breathtaking to behold, doing it all on their terms, giving the briefest of glimpses into the multiverse they've created. Ahead of their biggest ever headline show at Wembley Arena. At the Wembley Arena? Sorry, Alex.
What the hell?
We search through past interactions for the meaning behind the mystery and find real beauty in anonymity. Yeah, a quick storyline to the Wembley Arena. As you guys hopefully know, it's called the OVO Wembley Arena. But one day before the concert was, before the ritual was, I joined a mutual friend of Crow and me to her hotel room, which was close to the venue. And another friend of mine, his name is Philip, he joined us and we were so sleep deprived this evening. And then we were like, oh my God, there's the arena, there's the OVO Wembley Arena. And for some reason, we went like, oh, it's the OVO Wembley Arena. And then we accidentally turned it into the UVU Wembley Arena. And every time when we're like seeing something that is like advertised with it, we're like, oh my God, it's the UVU Wembley Arena. So yeah, for some reason, our brain worms say goodbye. Yeah, so this is how David McLaughlin started talking about Sleep Token. Yeah. And he also went with, if you come here looking for answers, welcome to the club. The questions you're posing might offer more useful insights. When we asked our own in the end, we were left with even more questions. All of this has very much been by design.
You know
Thanks
what
for.
I just, you know what I just thought about?
Hmm.
One of their first, I guess, big shows, if you can call it that even, was in the St. Pancras old church. And I just thought, what kind of experience that must have been for those who were there and now see what Sleep Token has become.
Oh, yeah.
It fills me with so much fear of missing out, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it's
Because
like also a part of jealousy.
I wish I was there.
It's
I
like
wish
also
I
a bit of
was,
jealousy, I would say, right?
yeah. I just wish I knew of them back then and got to experience something like that.
Mm, touche, me too. Okay. Oh no, there's a picture of Vessel. Goodbye. Like unmasked Vessel.
It always happens. It's
Mm.
so annoying.
And frustrating on all ends. But yeah, this is basically what you will get for the first Caring magazine from 2023. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Do we want to talk about the interview with Vessel?
Oh, absolutely.
It was in 2017. So very at the very beginning of Sleep Token. And their only real interview to date, if you exclude the Drumeo interview with two. And I think it's very interesting because there are obviously all those questions about anonymity, which we will get into in another episode, but also the gimmickry and what does it mean basically? And I thought it was very interesting how Vessel answered. Actually, do we know if it was Vessel? I think it was.
I think it was too. Yeah.
They never really specified who they talked to, but I'm pretty sure it's Vessel himself, because, like I said, it was at the very beginning. And yeah, he said basically, our identities are unimportant. Music is marketed on who is or isn't in a band. It's pushed, prodded, and molded into something it isn't. Vessel endeavors to keep the focus on his offerings. And it's so right. Because a lot of music, especially modern music, is so, how do I say it nicely? So overproduced and very focused on the artist itself. So the music doesn't really have much meaning behind it, which isn't inherently a bad thing. I still enjoy fun music that is just music for the sake of being music. And yeah, but I think it's very interesting what kind of view Vessel has on this topic.
Mm. Also, when he got asked what is the story behind Sleep Token, he also says, how we got here is as irrelevant as who we are. What matters is the music and the message. We are here to serve sleep and project his message. Like, he's really much into it doesn't matter who we are. And he also says, like, a bit later that music is for everyone. I don't get the people that are constantly fighting about whether Sleep Token is metal or not. He literally just said that music should be for everyone. And I think this is all that matters. He's trying to preserve so many different influences so that everyone has like a part of Token that they can like. And I think this is also pretty much important to like discover new stuff, to like experiment on certain aspects a bit. I mean, even when we're seeing like the live versions of the songs, the notes are so different sometimes because this guy is experimenting. And this is also what is very important to like stick to this creativity and this creative freedom music can give. And I think he's very much holding onto that.
Yeah. Um, I could actually rant about the state of the metal scene for hours, but literally, bands like Sleep Token are so important. Even if they don't outright claim themselves to be metal, they obviously play into the genre and they experiment with the genre. And bands like Sleep Token are so important to keep the genre of metal alive because if it never evolved, metal would be dead. And bands like Sleep Token or even like bands like Bad Omens, who are experimenting with a more modern sound and a more accessible sound to all sorts of people, are so fucking important to keep music as a whole alive. So I also don't get this whole discussion about what Sleep Token is and what isn't because it's so irrelevant.
Yeah, I just found the quote where he said music is for everyone. He literally just said life is dark, life is bright, life is ugly, life is beautiful. Don't get lost in genres, they only disorientate you. Music is for everyone. And there it is. Don't get lost in genres. This is literally all he's trying to say. And still, people are constantly pushing on whether Sleep Token is metal or not. Just, guys, listen to this man for once, for fuck's sake. And I like it when bands are experimenting. I mean, I like heavier stuff more, which is why I would say that I prefer War, for example, or Gods over Aqua Regia. But still, it doesn't mean for me that Aqua Regia is a bad song. I love the lyrics, and I love also the way how he's always messing it up.
His ears are swinging.
Exactly that. We will talk about this very soon enough again. But yeah, this is like basically it. Like, don't get lost in genres. Just listen to the stuff you like. It's so good that you can like experience your creative freedom. And I'm glad that Vessel is still doing it. I think he has found his way of making music by now, but still, I wouldn't mind to just go with an acoustic version of like every fucking song he has produced so far. I mean, the From the Room Below version of Bloodsport was incredible.
Yeah, personally, I also like heavier music, but I grew up at a time where music channels used to play Linkin Park back to back to Britney Spears, so I like music as a whole, like I said, even if the songs don't have any meanings, I can still enjoy them. And I mean, I know Vessel is around my age, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. And I
Yeah, I think it
think
was.
and I think it's the perks also of growing up at that time that you grow up with so many genres. So maybe he's like me. He grew up with a lot of music and just makes what he likes, basically. And also in that interview, there was something about their influences. And it said, as musicians, we are inspired by the human condition and a plethora of artists, but we are deeply moved by his words and continue to do our utmost to bring them to life. As followers, we are bound by a duty to combine our crafts to create music and conveys some of our most primal and powerful emotions. And I think that also goes with another answer where he said, our verses are a token crafted to magnify and embody the multitude of emotion that rise in our subconscious. Sonically, our voice is rooted in the resonation between the notes and your emotion. Take our hand. I think that's also an interesting topic to talk about what you think sleep symbolizes. Is it like this otherworldly being, or is it just a metaphor for the human condition, I guess? How do you see it?
Um, I would describe sleep as his, I would say, guardian and savior that rescued him out of his hole he was probably stuck in. But it seems like it's something toxic and maybe also like a representation of his inner demons that he's still struggling with. I think this is how I would describe sleep and also like his relationship to sleep. Like this guy, when we're looking at the lyrics of various songs, sleep gets a lot of focus for a lot of songs. Like, for example, in my opinion, in songs that are in the Eden trilogy for Take Me Back to Eden, for example, you can pretty much see that he's talking about someone that was controlling and consuming him. And I think sleep is like a metaphor for all the bad things that had happened to him in the past. And probably also like to still save him from this past, which is something that keeps him alive in a certain way. I think this is like a mixed situation. Sometimes sleep is there for him, helps him. And for the other side, it's like, I want to see you suffer so you can grow from the suffering you're enduring right now. But he's just broken and he needs someone that protects him and that is there for him as such. Because Sleep Token exists since 2016. So he was in his, yeah, I would say early 20s, probably. And well, probably he had so much bullshit going on that he just needed something that he can work on and have fun with, and maybe to like end one certain chapter in his life. And then he just came up with this idea of worshiping sleep that came to him in his dreams, because he describes it that once he was dreaming and sleep came to him, and maybe sleep just rescued him. But by the time he got more into worshiping sleep as a deity, probably for him, he found out it isn't like the best thing to handle this and to do this and to follow sleep, since a lot of shit is going on and he doesn't know how to handle all this.
Interesting interpretation. Um, we can be honest here, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just loring and putting up some theories. Vessa, I'm sorry if I'm mistaken.
No. I mean, Sleep Token and the whole lore is very open to interpretation. I think he wouldn't be mad anyways. But just as a disclaimer, I'm gonna talk about depression. Because to me, sleep has been like a metaphor for depression and maybe also death. Because to me, I'm talking about myself personally because that's how I relate to the music. It feels like this toxic relationship with depression, with yourself, that I've been stuck with it so long that I know it's bad for me and I know I need help. I need to better myself. But at the other hand, I have known it for so long that I don't really know who I am without it. How do I continue living if this part of me, because it has become a part of me, if this is gone? And like I said, it's like this toxic relationship, but not in an actual relationship sense, but more of this toxic relationship with yourself that you can't really get out, but you want to try to better yourself so desperately. And this is how I always related the whole persona of sleep and how Vessel presents himself. And yeah, that's how I really related to Sleep Token. And like I said, this is the beautiful thing about Sleep Token because everyone will take everything else, everything, something else, I mean, because of our own lived experiences and what we project onto the music and onto Vessel, which we can do because he is anonymous. And like he says, the music is very dependent also on the listeners because it resonates with our emotions.
Yeah. I think that's also like an interesting take to like describe sleep as a way of, or like as a metaphor of depression and also the struggles that are entwined with depression. Since you're like constantly struggling, you're trying to see more positive things to like still see a sense in life. And sometimes you cannot just do it. Sometimes the burden is so big, you cannot endure it, and then you're breaking. So that's also like an interesting take.
Yeah, and in the music, there are always these ups and downs with whatever a vessel is singing about, and it's also very reminiscent of how depression is. You have these ups and then you crash down again. And sometimes, like, I always like to compare it to water. Like, some days the water is relatively still, but some days there is just a wave that crashes down on you and drags you under. And it's hard to swim up to the surface again, I guess.
Mm,
Which is probably also why This Place Will Become Your Tomb is my favorite album because I relate to it so much.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, how did Ollie Sykes also describe it as in one of his songs, Can You Feel My Heart? The higher I get, the lower I sink. I
I
can't drown my
can't drown my demons.
demons
They know how
because
to
they know how
swim.
to swim.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just like saw a video today again of him like talking in London the first night of London with like how he's struggling and all that stuff. I was like, dude, I just want to hug you because he was crying. I was like, Ollie, stop. Please, I miss you. So yeah, and it's also like interesting that you're like also resembling it with water. I just opened up the lyrics of When the Bow Breaks, and oh my God, I didn't know it was that deep. I mean, I love the song and I listen to the lyrics a lot, but every time when I'm like constantly reading lyrics, then I'm like, oh, holy shit. I mean, it starts with you could stay alive. Just tell me when you notice, even in the dark, the way I left you breathing. And he also like talks about death. He also says, don't lie to me, or everything we touch turns water into blood. You try to look away from even when the bow breaks. It's like very painful in my opinion. Like this
Yeah,
song, I
also,
didn't know it was that deep. Holy.
Yeah, also the line, you don't really love, you just hate to be alone, really speaks to me. Also, did you know that when the bow breaks is like a nursery rhyme sort of thing?
I didn't know that actually.
It says when the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. And it's like a cautionary tale because mothers, I guess, used to hang the cradles of the babies on branches and they swung the babies with light wind. But if you're not careful, then strong wind could come and the baby would fall with the bow. And I guess that's where this phrase is coming from, which I also thought is interesting.
Yeah, that's also very interesting. Also interesting that even in Fields of Elation, the lyrics are pretty deep. I mean, I checked also for Thread the Needle. Thread the Needle is sad yet beautiful, but the lyrics are not as deep as for When the Bow Breaks or Fields of Elation. As for Fields of Elation, for example, says in verse 2, your name is a sin I breathe like oxygen. Like he needs, probably with your name, probably sleep. He needs sleep. Like he cannot live without sleep anymore. And he's also caught in the careless arms of lust again. Or I'm losing my faith in our lives apart. Like he needs sleep to live. Or like it seemed like he needed sleep to live. And I think things have changed. Now it's like a turn, I would say.
Yeah, depending on how you interpret it, it could be his relationship with sleep or whatever relationship he had that these three songs are about. And I think the one EP as a whole is very, how do you say that in English? Zwiespältig.
Contradicting, I would say.
Yeah, uh, contradicting in feeling because he's stuck, like in fields of elation, that's how I interpret it. He is stuck and not able to move on from this relationship, but at the same time, he acknowledges how toxic it is and that, mm, like in thread the needle, for example, which is also like an idiom that basically means that, how do you say that? To perform a challenging task with extreme precision and also find the balance between conflict and it's like those opposing views which also kind of fits with the whole, what does he say, the time dilated, something like that, which is also like a difference in time measured, which could also mean that there are two people who have very different views and it's not working between them, you know?
Yeah, I just found in the Caring magazine a very interesting point. Maybe we can comment on this one real quick. He says that sleep tokens serve as a means to explore this on an individual basis. The music is a representation of one's individual's deepest and most fundamental emotions and desires. This is
Yeah.
what people connect to.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting take, in my opinion. Like, yeah, sometimes I am thinking about things like in the way he would see them, or like sometimes I'm wondering, oh, what would Vessel do right now? Since everyone has struggles in their real life, everyone has burdens that they need to carry. But still, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can like compare myself and my struggles to those that Vessel has, since the way how he's describing his struggles through the music, through the lyrics, it hurts. It fucking hurts.
Hey, Editing Crow here. I've been meaning to say it, but then my mind trailed off and I never did. So I just wanted to quickly interject here. Please don't compare your struggles with those of anyone else, because it will only make you feel worse in the long run. And even if there is someone who seemingly has it worse than you, that doesn't mean your struggles are any less valid or any less serious. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah, that also intertwines with what I said earlier with how Sleep Token allows you to project, because, like they said in this interview, um, sonically our voice is rooted in the resonation between the notes and your emotions. So they put the emphasis on your emotions, so the listener take our hand. And of course, we don't know what Vessel exactly is going through, what he is exactly thinking about. I think we also never really got official lyrics for most songs. I think there was one song that got official lyrics, but I think that's intentional also. And the mask obviously is to keep him and Vessel separate and to allow himself to explore his own emotions, being vulnerable without making himself naked, I guess, in front of everyone. But it's also because he's wearing the mask and he is calling himself vessel, he is a vessel for the listeners to project onto and to take away what we hear, basically, our interpretation. And that's so interesting about Sleep Token because I think, yes, there is the anonymity, and yes, there is Vessel's own struggle, but I also think it's very intentional with allowing the listener to feel their own emotions and see whatever resonates with them.
Yeah, and also like to like relate with the music and the lyrics as such, I would say. Like I can still remember the time where I was discussing with other Sleep Token fans about Vessel crying on stage. Many said before like the announcements were made that he's faking it. And I was like, why should he do it? I mean, why should Vessel fake his own emotions?
I'm gonna be
And
so honest. Nobody could fake what Vessel does.
I mean, the way how he's like doing this, and I would say, like, if he's like ever admitting it, I was faking it. Ha, you losers, fools. Then I
No, I
would be like,
don't think that.
damn, that was such a good acting. But you can even hear him crying at the end of the Bloodsport studio version.
Yeah.
The way how he's like desperately choking up on air and sobbing and shaking even. This is not acting. Not in this way. Like I know how it's like to break down into tears and to like let the emotions out. And I think this is what he needs to do. He needs to let it out what he thinks and feels. And I think this is the way how he's doing it with music. I mean, this guy doesn't want to be exposed on the internet, being like, this is Vessel from Sleep Token, this is how he looks like. There's a reason for it that he doesn't want to be revealed. Still, people do it, but he doesn't want to. And he was so scared to like speak up alone. So he needed to ask Sam to do this for him. He was wiggling anxiously next to him. And the only time where I could hear his own voice was when he was staying at the piano for Bloodsport in Wembley. And he was choking out 2 times, "Thank you." And I could tell he was crying. He was exhausted. He was crying. This guy was sick. And yet he decided to move on. And as also Hugh Laurie says, acting is about putting on masks and music is about taking them off. And even though Vessel is wearing a mask, he is taking his mask off metaphorically by singing emotional songs and also letting the emotions out and also crying. So you cannot tell me that this is just faking it. And I was so upset at those people that said to me, "Leah, you are so delusional. He's faking it." No, he fucking isn't. You haven't, and even if he was, you have still no right to assume that he's faking it because there are just emotions washing over him. And even if it's just like crying out of gratitude, he doesn't know how to show it, but he's trying to show it by being so vulnerable and open to us about his emotions.
Yeah, he is definitely not faking it. Even if we go back to Wembley, not even the choked up thank you, but at the end, the way he wept. You cannot fake something like that. And also, I don't necessarily think that putting on a mask is acting, because with Vessel, I think the mask is actually allowing himself to be himself, to show his deepest emotions that he would not be able to show without the mask, maybe. I mean, there was this one interlude also where he talked with his mask, which was also interesting. Maybe we'll get to that in another episode.
Yeah.
Maybe. And yeah, and also with Bloodsport, with the recording where you could hear him cry on the album, it's not even just Bloodsport, which I noticed with, I play around with isolated tracks just for fun. And even in other songs, you can hear him choke up at some points, which is also interesting with their very early music, where they let breathers, they didn't edit the sound that much, and you can hear when his voice is quivering, when he's choked up at some points, which is very interesting. And I absolutely do not think that he's putting up a show. Nobody could convince me otherwise.
I mean, it would be so strange if he did, in my opinion. Like, this guy, I mean, to be fair, he's very open about the way how he's like presenting himself. Like, this guy is just wearing a robe, shirtless.
He's
He's
jacked.
he's like a linky boy. He's wearing an interesting pair of shoes. He's wearing a black
Hey, put some
pants.
respect on Tubby shoes. They are comfortable.
Cannot tell. I rather wear sneakers or Doc Martens. Um,
Fair. I also rather would wear my Vans, but still they're comfortable.
yeah, touche. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's very open the way how he's like presenting himself. And I once remembered one post on Tumblr. This person was like relatively new to Sleep Token and like discovering Sleep Token. And this person posted a picture of Vessel where you could see the scars he has on his lower arm.
Oh, I
And
remember
this
that.
person was like, "Oh, that's so cute. He has like 3 on his arm. That's so adorable." And I remember we all were like, "Sweetie,
Oh, sweetie,
no,
don't.
you're such an innocent person, but nah,
Yeah.
mm-mm. This is probably something else." So yeah, I mean, he's
Also,
struggling, obviously,
yeah,
and I'm sorry, but the way how he's like faking, this is nothing you can fake. Like when he's
no.
breaking down on his knees and like bending over, trying to thank us with the gestures he's making. He's trying his best. And I'm still glad that he's like still able to make music. And I hope it will never end because I mean, he will probably never listen to this podcast. But
But I hope not.
I mean, I sometimes hope he will. So, Vessel, if you're ever going to listen to this, and if not, then you will know Crow and the others. It's like a very intimate anecdote for me right now. Um, when I saw Sleep Token for the second time in my life, it was on the 19th of August, 2023, around 1 a.m. And around this time, at the same date, I lost my grandma. And so she died from cancer. And she was like the world to me. And she was like the only grandma I had since my other grandma died before I was even born. And well, I couldn't stand the state for obvious reasons. I couldn't live with the fact that my grandma is now gone. But now I can see the state as something tragic, yet also beautiful, because I could see Sleep Token for the second time. I had a lovely interaction with three during hire. I mean, I can also send Crow the video and they can add it if they want to. But still, it was like amazing. The crowd was shit. Like, seriously, the crowd was fucking shit during the Reload Festival. Uh, I was like feeling I was the only person doing this, and the boys immediately rushed off. I mean, usually they are handing out pics to people and like just doing some silly, goofy stuff, especially three. He's taking his time after rituals as much time allows him to do it. But during this time, he just rushed off immediately. They were also super stressed out that they were 20 minutes delayed. You could just see it behind everything, like behind the stage. You could just like see Vessel walking up and down. It was so hilarious, yet also very sad. But yeah, I can like connect a tragic date with something beautiful now, which is seeing my absolute favorite band that's helping me to show and also to deal with my emotions. I am able to cry to music and I am able to cry when I'm listening to Sleep Token whenever I feel sad. They're helping me so I can let out my emotions. So thank you, Vessel, that you're doing this. I guess that also comes to you, Crow, that we're just thankful to like have someone that is open about being vulnerable. And now we can also accept that feeling or like being vulnerable is okay, that it is valid to not feel okay sometimes or for most of the time. And this is why I am so in love with this band and trying to convince everyone that they should give them at least one go. You don't have to love them the way I do. I'm not pressuring you. It's just see the band as something or like as a chance that you can be open about your feelings.
Yeah, definitely. Also, again, I've said it before, but I'm sorry for your loss. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
your grandma was very lovely.
She was. And I'm 100% certain, like, my parents say it. They still don't get why I'm obsessed with this band, which is fair. But my parents said it. Alex from Poland said it. And also Emily said it. They all said it was probably a sign from her that she wanted you to be happy. And every time when this state is coming, I'm sad, crying, bawling my eyes out. And then I'm remembering myself to the fact, oh, you also saw Sleep Token on that time, like during that time. And she probably wanted you to experience this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, yeah, this is like a nice little anecdote that I felt like to share. Even though we just wanted to discuss about like the first two EPs as such. But I think, I mean, I will probably repeat it all over again, but in my opinion, this is like something personal, and I think it fits here. Like in general, when it comes to talking about Sleep Token, I think it is important to mention that they can help you accepting your own feelings and also to like relate to someone like Vessel.
Yeah. Since we are so open and vulnerable right now, um, can I add something too?
You can at any time. I just yapped a lot. Now it's your turn.
So I already said a little bit about it in my introduction, but at the time where I really got into Sleep Token, I was very depressed. And I am pretty sure if Sleep Token didn't come into my life when they did, I would not be sitting here right now talking to Julia. And I have been so closed off with my emotions. And like you, Sleep Token allows me to let it out, to cry. I haven't been able to cry for so long because I'm so used to bottling up all of my emotions because nobody understands me. Everyone in my personal life are so dismissive about how I feel, about my problems, because I just didn't grow up in a very loving environment and I'm very insecure because of that. So I deal with everything myself. And Sleep Token has given me like an outlet to not be alone. Even though I'm sitting alone in my room, I still have the music and it helps me greatly. And also with Vessel, the way he is so open and vulnerable and like that one person on Tumblr, they didn't know, but someone like me who has similar scars, I notice. And to me, seeing Vessel to be so open about how he presents himself helped me to accept that I have these scars. I don't have to hide them. I don't have to be ashamed that I have them because they are a sign that I battled through something and I came out alive.
And you are a
And
survivor.
yes, and Sleep Token and Vessel especially just is such a how do you say that? Such a valuable person to me personally, I guess. Even though I don't know him, he has given me so much. What he chooses to share about himself is helping much more than he could ever imagine. And if Vessel ever got to hear this, I would just want to say thank you.
Yeah, this is also very sweet. And regarding about showing your scars and not being ashamed of them. I can absolutely relate. I mean, I also do have some on my arm, and I used to hide them when I was younger. But now I can also say that I'm a survivor and that we are strong. Crow, you are strong, that you're still here. And I know life can be tough sometimes for both of us and for everyone. But still, there are people that love you and that want you to be here. So if you ever dare to harm yourself ever again, I swear to God, I will come to fucking Baden-Württemberg and get you. The way how Vessel said, time lived again for just a moment. Just remember that line. I mean, it just lived again for a moment when you're listening to Sleep Token or to Bad Omens. Bring Me the Horizon. Whatever band you like to listen to, Imminence, I don't care. It just lived again for just a moment. Even it is just by talking to people, talking to someone you don't know, just screaming into your pillow because the music is so beautiful. It will live again for just a moment, even if it's just for a little moment. Even if it's just holding your cat in your arms, squeezing the hell out of him.
You will not allow that.
I know he won't, but he loves you. So time lived again for just a moment. Don't forget this, please. Please remember this.
I will. Actually, at my last appointment with my therapist, I talked about Sleep Token. And she was also like, it's so fascinating what music can do for your mental health.
Yeah, it really helps a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also now watching like a D&D project of some of my favorite voice actors. As for some Germans here, if you're German, please check out the Dissectors. They are fucking incredible. That's no advertisement here, just like appreciating these people. They are also incredible. And whenever I feel like shit, I'm just like listening to Sleep Token and watching the Dissectors, and it's incredible. It's just great to know that you're not alone. And when you have people like online most of the time, because this is how communication works, unfortunately, it's still beautiful that you know people like from around the world that you can talk to. Even it's just screaming into the void. There are people that are listening.
Yeah. Now, we've gotten away from the topic again.
I mean, it's important to talk about sleep token and
Yes.
mental health because it just goes hand in hand.
Yeah. But to get back to the one EP, what is your favorite song actually from this one? I've never asked you.
I would say When the Bow Breaks. I would say When the Bow Breaks. I mean, the lyrics are so deep and sad, but the instrumentals are like constantly kicking in. But it's also like sometimes in a battle with Thread the Needle, especially since Rock am Ring and Rock im Park, because the live version of it is so beautiful. And I'm still not over it that he's performing this song after almost 10 years. Like when I saw Nazareth live, for example, I was stunned. I was so upset at that point because he started playing Nazareth right after Atlantic, and I was like, dude, why are you doing this? This is torture for my pure soul. How dare you? But yeah, still, I think it's When the Bow Breaks, with Thread the Needle being very close to taking over the spot. What about you?
For me, it's Fields of Elation. Just musically, I just like it the most, I guess. But also the part where he says, nobody else can pull me out. I relate to that very deeply because I go back again to myself and I'm like, nobody else can save me. I have to save myself. So nobody else can pull me out but myself, is how I relate to it. And just the way he sings it just speaks to me on a deeper level, I guess. But generally, I like all the songs, but Fields of Elation just does something for me that the others don't.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And what about the two EP? Which one is your favorite?
With two, it's Jericho.
Oh,
I don't know. It's just so vibey, just music-wise, but also the lyrics, especially that one part when it gets a bit funky, I guess. And
my
just the
hands are not
lyrics.
worthy.
Yes, just the lyrics, how he sings them, it's very beautiful, even though the song itself is probably again very toxic, but it also has this yearning vibe to it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a yearner at heart.
you absolutely are.
What's yours?
Uh, to be honest, um, when I listened to the 2 EP, the first song I ever listened to of it was Calcutta because I saw a post on Tumblr where there were like the close-ups of his mouth, and I was like, damn, his mouth. I want to see that. And then I started listening to Calcutta, and holy shit, his voice is so beautiful in this one. I also like Nazareth a lot because the song lyrics is like so interesting compared to the way how he's like doing it with the music. But the song is so deep. And sometimes I feel very bad when I say that I prefer sometimes, only sometimes, Nazareth over Calcutta. But I think right now, again, it's Calcutta because his voice is so clean in this one. And also, like, the instrumentals are very interesting in this one.
Talking about Nazareth, do you think Bessel killed someone?
Probably as Freddie Mercury did with killing his own past self, maybe.
Fair
I mean,
point.
yes, he's talking about a girl, but still. So, like, metaphorically speaking, he is talking about a girl or like the um how do we say it? The explicitity of the I could also suggest that he's talking about someone else. Like the explicit subjectivity doesn't mean that it is Vassal himself. Um, but maybe it was like his own past self, or like
Past self.
probably metaphorically speaking, killing someone, like in terms of getting rid of someone in his life that used to be toxic. Probably his ex girlfriend or like ex friends that hurt him so terrible, and that he's like struggling and now trying to get rid of those people by just mentally killing them. Passive, yeah, indeed.
The 2 EP is like with Calcutta, it's like he's falling head over heels for someone, like he feels whole again. And then with Nazareth, it's like the relationship went to shit, literally. It's like this violence and destruction in the lyrics maybe is symbolizing a abusive relationship.
Mm.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that it was also like just going on in Calcutta because he said that um he's whole again for just a moment
Yeah. So
till the morning comes. So yeah.
yeah, he fell head over heel for this person, but it's not all that green, I guess. And then also in Jericho, which interesting title. I instantly thought of Detroit Become Human.
Oh my God, same.
And the way he is yearning again in Jericho, but there is still this toxicity, even though he is yearning for this someone, whoever that is, whether it's a partner or sleep or whatever. So, like in the first EP, it kind of continues with these conflicting feelings. On the one hand, he is so deeply in love with someone, but on the other hand, he knows that whatever this relationship is bad for him.
And he's like scared to
Yeah,
get into another relationship again because he's scared of getting hurt again.
yeah.
And you can tell that pretty much the way how he's describing stuff. I just also noticed my English is not good today. I'm sorry, people. As we said in the first episode, we are non-natives of the English language. Please bear with us. Um,
It's
random
fine. You
disclaimer.
can understand
I'm
us.
tired. I'm tired. That's all. I just wanted to apologize.
They can
Um,
understand us fine. Don't worry about it.
are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Um,
actually, when I was
oh,
in London, our English teacher was so strict about how we should talk, and then our bus driver, who was a native, he said, "Don't even listen to your teacher. Nobody gives a shit. As long as the natives understand what you mean, it doesn't matter if your grammar or your pronunciation is bad."
yeah.
Which really was such a good moment because that teacher was so fucking annoying.
Do you know what really is funny regarding speaking English on this off-topic manner?
Hmm.
My friend from the US, her name is Rose. Um, greetings to Rose on that take. Um, she was here for 1 year in Germany, and she told me that she needed to like do a course for the German language again. And the lecturer that she had was terrible in English. Like this lecturer had the most thickest accent that ever existed when you're speaking English with a German accent. Like speaking like this and also not being able to talk like very fluently and also
Not
like
the
couldn't
yellow from
pronounce
the egg.
like the th sound was very horrible. Like she sounded very German, something like that. I'm sorry for cringing you all, but this is sometimes how some Germans sound like. And she told me that the accent was so unbearable to deal with that she didn't go to the class anymore. She was like,
Very valid.
with all due respect to your people, this accent was so horrible, I couldn't stop cackling my ass off. I just gotta go. Otherwise, I cannot focus anymore. And I was like, that's absolutely valid. I mean, another prof she had, and I also know this guy. I mean, he's not at my uni anymore, but he asked her where she was coming from, and she needed to like get her passport out of her pocket to prove that she was from Alaska because Alaska was not part of the US map that he showed to her. And she was like, I'm from Alaska. And and he was like, nah, I don't believe you. You gotta show me your passport. Oh God. I felt so sorry for her. I was like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. And she was like, well, that is an experience I never thought I would experience here in Germany. Yeah. So quick adventuring time on getting abroad with us, I guess. Yeah.
Another thing with the 2 EP, I'm not sure. I'm not that educated on all of this, but aren't Calcutta, Nazareth, and Jericho like settler colonies?
Yeah, they are.
This is very interesting that he chose to name the songs
Or like
after colonies.
Nazareth, that is also connected to with Jesus and the Bible.
Yeah.
Like because Jesus was from Nazareth, the way
Jericho,
that he chose
I
a
think Jericho.
very explicit topic about sexual violence and probably also domestic violence and abuse and sexual abuse with a city that is like entwined with some sort of religious aspects.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Calcutta, but I think Jericho is also something biblical, like the city of miracles or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I think it was something that it stood for, on one hand, safety, like impossible to break, but on the other hand, it's standing for sin and violence, something like that, which also interesting because we know Vessel is a nerd, so I believe nothing he does is without intention.
Okay, you know what? Just because you asked, I just Googled, for example, Calcutta, and Kolkata is now the name of it, like Kolkata
Hmm.
in its written way. And the old name of it is Calcutta. So Calcutta is the old name, like the formerly name of Kolkata, and this is located
Hmm.
in India. This is so interesting. I just wanted to
I
add
just,
that because, like here, the city's former name Calcutta is an anglicized version of the Bengali name Kalikata. According to some,
Mhm.
Kalikata is derived from the Bengali word Kalishtera. I'm sorry for the bad Kalishtera. Yeah, I'm sorry for the bad pronunciation, meaning ground of the goddess Kali. Some say the city's
Mm.
name derives from the location of its original settlement on the bank of a canal, Kal. A third option traces to the Bengali words for lime, calcium oxide Kali, and burnt shell kata, since the area was noted for the manufacture of shell lime. And then in 2001, it was changed to Kolkata. So why would he choose the name
Interest.
of a city which is like the former name of it? This is so interesting.
Yeah. I just want to take Vessel, put him under a microscope and study him. I just want to know what he thought.
Have fun with putting whatever tall ass lanky man.
I need to find a big ass microscope.
Yeah.
But also, when we go back to the one EP, like when the bow breaks is like this nursery kind of rhyme thing, and then thread the needle is an idiom. I wonder if fields of relation also means something like that. I just really want to ask Vessel, what did you mean?
What did you mean with that? But yeah, also like for Jericho, like I'm just Googling the cities because it's interesting. Jericho is a city in the West Bank of
Yeah,
Palestine,
yeah.
and it is located in the Jordan Valley with the Jordan River to the east and I cannot speak.
It's getting late.
For fuck's sake. Jerusalem. Now I got it in the German pronunciation to the west. So yeah, it's like also like one of the oldest cities in the world.
Hmm.
And it's also like the oldest fortified city in the world. And the name of Jericho in the biblical Hebrew version is generally thought to derive from the Canaanite word, which translates to fragrant, but other theories hold that it originates in the Canaanite word for moon, or the name of the lunar deity Yarik, for whom the city was an early center of worship.
That is so interesting.
Thank you, Wikipedia. This time I'm really much relying on you. Yeah, that's like really interesting, in my opinion. Like to talk about the history of certain cities that are like for example, Nazareth and like Jericho are close to each other.
Mm,
They are like in the Middle East. Like Jericho is in Palestine and Jerusalem is in Israel. And now Calcutta is on the complete other side, if you want to put it that way. And it's
yeah,
located in India. That's pretty interesting. Why couldn't you
thank
go
you.
for a road vessel? Excuse me, I'm half Lebanese. I'm expecting that from you from now on. No, just kidding. But still, it's interesting.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Also, Jericho is described in the Bible as the city of palm trees.
okay.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Like, why did he choose this particular cities and why did he choose the old name of Kolkata and not Kolkata itself?
Hi, this is Editing Crow again. I wanted to quickly interject for a second because maybe it's worth a mention. So with Nazareth and Jericho, we have a biblical relevance, but with Calcutta, it's different. So I tried to search up if there may be something that would connect all three places. And while Calcutta has no biblical relevancy, it still has this religious relevancy. As Leah said, the word Kalikata means something like ground of Kali, and Kali is a Hindu goddess that primarily stands for time, death, and destruction, but also knowledge. And Kali is worshipped as the divine mother, mother of the universe, and the divine feminine energy. And this all could mean absolutely nothing. But the fact that she is associated with time, death, and destruction would actually make sense lyric wise with the whole two song trilogy. So, I mean, like I said, it could mean nothing, but it's still interesting. And also, we didn't record that, but it came up when we talked after, and I thought maybe I could mention it here as well, because in the episode we only talked about how the lyrics relate to Vessel, but I questioned on how much input 2 may actually have in the lyrics, because we know that he helps with the songwriting and he is credited with lyrics sometimes. So I just wondered if maybe the songs we relate to Vessel could actually be from 2's perspective and we just don't know it. But yeah, just an interesting thought that I thought maybe I could mention as well. But yeah, that's it. Back to Leah and Crow from the past. Do we also want to talk about Jaws and the way that you were?
We can absolutely do that. But it's so
Actually, for Jaws, I saw something that Vessel or he said. I don't know where it was from, I forgot, but I will look it up and then I can link it in the description. But they said Jaws are the tools we have to rend apart, to show our concealed aggression, to take something once hidden and protected, and bursted apart. You know no one until you have seen them destroy something, which I also thought was very interesting that they would describe it like that.
Oh, definitely. A masterpiece as well.
Yeah. I think with Jaws, it's also very apparent that it's, again, about some sort of toxic relationship, and it's almost like Vessel is begging this person to open up to him,
Yeah.
is how I interpret it.
Yeah, especially with the part, and I'm not here to be the savior you long for, only the one you don't.
Yeah, like
Like
he's,
he's like, I'm here for you and I can listen
yeah,
to you and your problems, but if you do not talk to me, then I don't know how to help you.
yeah,
And he's tired of like, it seems like he's tired of like repeating himself constantly over and over again.
yeah,
Tell this person, listen, I want to be here for you and you do not talk to me. And this is also, in my opinion, what the way that you were
yeah,
does.
that's what I thought.
Like, and you no longer stand in between collapsing walls or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That
Like,
was,
that was
that
the line
was,
that hit me.
yes, that was actually the line that hit me when I listened to it, which really opened something in me. The whole, you will no longer stand between collapsing walls wearing a smile like you can't bear it anymore. It's like, it spoke to me so deeply because I'm so used to fake it. And there was someone telling me that you don't have to fake anymore, which really made me bawl my eyes out.
Yeah, like in general, I'm just reading the lyrics in general. He's also saying, you will never be the same.
Yeah,
And also, commentary of the bandage, the way that you were, with pain as your language, the way that you were. Will you show
yeah.
me the damage, the way that you were? Well, how much did they hurt you? You will never be the same, the way that you were.
Yeah, I think Jaws and the way that you were kinda go together, in my opinion,
Yeah,
with all the themes and the topic of what he is singing about. They seem very connected.
yeah. And when you think I don't notice the way that you were and act like you don't feel it, like he's trying to get this person to talk
Mm,
because he doesn't want to see this person enduring all the pain by themselves. He wants to help because he knows what it is like to be alone and to suffer from something or
yeah,
someone. And still, he's like tired of repeating himself constantly. And this is probably also why he needed to let go. And also, probably the reason why he's also breaking because he's trying to get like out of this responsibility of like constantly caring since it also hurts him that he cannot
mm,
do anything and since he's also a vulnerable soul and broken he needs to get out of it because it's a vicious that I cannot speak for fuck's sake vicious cycle going on. There we fucking go. Oh,
yeah.
I'm
I
realizing we
think
should never record during this time. My English is not very great for this. But yeah,
I
I think it's like he's tired and he's trying to let this people to talk to him or like this person that he's addressing directly or indirectly. He's like, talk to me. Please do so before your inner demons are consuming you. And then he's realizing this person doesn't talk to me for whatever reason because they don't want to be a burden towards me because they know that I'm also suffering. And then he's like trying to get away from this person since he thinks communication is key. And since he cannot communicate things out for his part, he needs people to do it so that he can see, okay, it's valid to talk about your feelings and what's going on inside your head. So maybe he needs people to open up to him that he can see, okay, they are opening up to me, so I can return the favor.
Yeah, I almost also wonder if maybe he has lost someone that he cared about and he wanted to help, but he wasn't able to. And it kinda maybe could translate to that as well. But also on the other hand, I also wonder if maybe he is singing about someone, but a part of it is also directed at himself and about his own struggles, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Maybe he's also like trying to like project what he cannot explain or like show to the others what he's feeling through
Mm,
music. Maybe this is the way how he's trying to convey his feelings because he's scared of being judged. And
yeah.
music helps him to open up and to show his friends, his family, maybe his partner, if he has one, to show
Mm.
I'm not feeling well right now, but I don't know how to express it, but I can do it with music. So if you're listening to this music, then you will probably understand how I'm feeling.
It's it's kind of like Do You Wish That You Love Me, which is also he could be talking to someone else, but he could also be talking to himself. And also with Are You Really Okay is also something that he could be talking to someone, he could be talking about himself, but he could also be talking from his mother's perspective. I think songs like these are very interesting in Sleep Token's discography because they could be interpreted from different points of views.
Yeah. Just Are You Really Okay? I remember when I listened to this song for the first time, I was crying.
Yeah.
It hurt so fucking bad. I mean, I
Yes.
also started crying when I listened to Atlantic for the first time, or like
Mm.
Telomeres, but still, holy fuck. Are You Really Okay? Just broke me. I remember when I remember like it was yesterday. It was, oh God, it hurt me. I was studying for chemistry, for like a chemistry test when the
Oh,
time I
let's
listened
talk
to,
about chemistry.
for fuck's sake. Like I was studying for a chemistry test I had, and I was vibing with the album. I was listening to Ascensionism and stuff like that. And then there was Are You Really Okay? And I was like, holy fuck is happening?
Mm.
Yeah, it's like you should never listen to Sleep Token fellas when you're trying to do something productive like uni or school wise or work wise. Please, please don't do it. You will break.
Do you also experience frisson?
Yeah, like
Yeah, me
every
too.
time. Oh my God. Today when I saw like this video of Ollie, like where he was holding the speech in London,
Mm.
I got so many goosebumps. That was insane. I was like, damn. I mean, I knew the speech because I was seeing it the day before, like that because it was the day before the concert I went to. And I was like, holy fuck, if he's going to speak like that, I'm gonna die, bro. Vessel does something to me I cannot describe actually. I
Yeah.
can't, like seriously. The lyrics are so beautiful yet sad.
He's
And
also so smart in how he uses words.
like seriously, the way how he announces stuff with the account,
It's so
it's
goofy though.
insane. It's insane. I think it's interesting to talk about the lyrics, like about the old lyrics specifically, since the old songs do not get enough credit, which is sad.
Mm. But also when you look back at the old songs and then just really look at just even in Arcadia, the progression is insane. And it's so sad how Vessel still doesn't think that he's good enough, like in Damocles. He is like he has this imposter syndrome, which I resonate with, but still. everyone from the outside can see how amazing he is and what he's doing and what he's capable of. And even if you just compare the old songs with the new ones, you can see such a big progression and how far he has come. And it's so sad that he doesn't seem to really see it.
Yeah, that's true. Like he needs to see that he's incredible and that he's like truly a mastermind and
Mm.
he should be proud of himself. He should learn to be proud of himself, what he has become.
Yeah,
Yes, of course,
Vassal.
shitty that people are trying to get a rise from him
Mm.
to while shouting out his real name. I mean, I remember this lovely video of him spitting on the stage and then just showing up the middle finger. I love this. I was like, slay,
Yeah.
slay, Bethel. Please go on. Please show him like in that kind of way. But he still should like see that he should be proud of himself, of what he has achieved in his young age.
Yeah.
Like, please, Bessel, it's incredible. As we
Yeah.
say it in German, ich ziehe den Hut vor dir.
Tipping
It's,
my head.
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, both Vessel and Two, which again, those are the recording artists. They're both such incredible musicians. The way they write music is so fascinating, and you can really hear how far both of them have come, and they should be proud of everything they did because what they're doing is truly amazing.
Yeah, and
I
they
I
should also
cannot
be
even.
proud of their friendship, that it's still
Yes.
lasting.
Yes, I'm so glad those two found each other.
Yeah, I think also that Vessel needs someone like two in his life. So, like a constant person in his life, since the
A
persona of
sassy
four, for
guy.
example, like the persona four was switching for at least one
Hmm.
time, I guess. Like for the 2 EP, it still was someone else than we have now.
Yeah.
And I love our beloved guitarist that we have now,
Ivy,
Ivy. Ivy, our boy, we love you.
Ivy, we love you.
You're the sweetest. It's like, I mean, as Vessel says, nothing lasts forever, but still,
Yeah.
I hope that Sleep Token will be still a huge part. And even if they decide to quit making music, I will be forever be grateful that I was a part of this men's journey.
Also, I mean, we will get to even in Arcadia, but and just generally, the lyrics in the song, even in Arcadia, where he says, "We have a few good years to kill," and you walk beside me still. To me, that means that he is not going anywhere. He's still gonna make music for a few years. But also to go off topic again, regarding Ivy, nothing but respect to the other four. I think it was two before him, right? Or
I
was
have
it
to.
just one?
I don't know. At least one person.
At least one, but I think it was two others. Nothing but respect to them. But with Ivy, the band just feels so complete. Their dynamic is so wholesome. It just, Ivy is like a puzzle piece that has been missing on stage. And I just love this man so much. He is such
Yeah.
a, I don't know the English word, but in German it's a Bereicherung.
Yeah, definitely.
Er ist so
He
eine
truly is.
Bereicherung.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yes.
My favorite moment I share with Ivy was also in Cardiff. Um, one of our friends, Misha,
Mm-hmm.
from also Tumblr.
Hey, Misha.
Surprise. Hi, Misha. I hope you're doing great if you're ever going to listen to this. I don't know if you will. So they made me like space buns. And then we also like met someone from Greece, for fuck's sake. Yeah, this person is Greek and she's from Greece. So no, I corrected myself.
It's
And
late.
she had like glowing sticks that you can like use for like necklaces and bracelets. And Misha added two in my space buns. And I don't know during which song it was, but like Ivy was standing right in front of me on his podium. And he just looked at me and tilted his head. And then I just showed him the space buns, and he was like tilting his head even further. And then I showed him the space buns and also like the lights. And then he just nodded in improvement and just walked away. Sadly, I do not have a video of it, and no one else recorded this interaction, but it was so hilarious to see how he was like tilting his head even further to just like see what the hell is this person wearing in their hair, and then just nodding in approval and walking away. It was so hilarious to like
He's so sweet.
experience this because he's literally such a cutie, and his growlings, oh, for fuck's sakes, oh, they are incredible. I'm still desperately waiting for the time where Ivy and Three will join Two and Vessel
And the
when
studio.
producing music in the studio.
Mm.
I seriously need this to happen. Like Ivy's range when it comes to screaming is incredible. Like his screamings are so different in War, in Rain, in other old songs. It's incredible. And this is also why I need like heavier songs on the set list. Or like maybe a different version of the old songs, maybe with some screaming, since I need more Ivy. I need more Ivy on stage and him doing stuff than just playing the guitar. I also need Three yelling at us when trying to make pits or the wall of death. I don't care. I need this. It's incredible. The stage personas are so fucking incredible. And I love this.
The one video of three, it's it's living in my mind rent free. The whole it's coming.
Oh
It's so
my god,
funny.
yeah. To me, you know it's coming.
He's so funny.
We need to find this. But my favorite stage persona video of Ivy is when he's like walking to the backstage area because he needed to drink something because it was hot, and he was like, "Fuck shit, that's hot,"
Yeah.
or like, "Fuck, it's hot." I was like, "Yeah." But do you know where I was really salty about? Just quick on another Ivy note.
Hmm.
I was so pissed when people were constantly talking about that he was wearing or like is wearing a lot of layers
Hmm.
because of his figure. I'm like,
Such
dude, just
bullshit.
leave this guy alone. And compared
He
to
is
like
perfect.
the August 2023 looks to last year, he lost so much weight. Like, seriously, dude, stop bullying this cute baby. He's amazing. Like, look at this and this picture of him. He's so fucking adorable. Like,
I
seriously,
just I
Ivy,
just really I just really hate when people talk about other people's looks.
just
It's
let them,
it
please.
just drives me up a wall because I have dealt with it my whole life just from my mother, and I absolutely hate when people are talking about how someone else looks like, especially when it comes to the body, because shut up! It's so annoying. And Ivy is perfect. I don't
Yeah,
know why people compare him to the both monoliths that are literally Vessel and Three.
yeah,
He's a perfectly normal looking man.
yeah. And Vessel, holy shit, his body physique, like his abs. Jeez, he looks like a lanky boy.
Yeah.
And then you're like seeing his torso and you're like, oh, hi. And we do not have to talk about how muscular 2 is. We
Yeah.
don't have to. This guy's
I
the
mean, he
drummer.
is a drummer, so
He's the drummer. He's supposed to.
I
But
love when people
seriously.
are like, look at his arms. How are his arms so big? And I'm like, he's a drummer.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I wonder.
Imagine Vessel trying to hit the drums and then he's just panting his ass off and being like,
His
"Ugh,
arm snaps like a
I
twig.
don't know how the fuck you're doing this, man." And then you can just like see Chu slurping some Red Bull in the background, being like, "Ha, loser."
Also, just to mention it to, again, with how Vessel and Two are the recording artists, it would be great to have Three and Four on the recording as well. But it's so insane how Vessel is basically doing all of the instrumentals except the drums.
Yeah,
That is so insane.
and also the screamings.
Yeah.
I think this is also like something came into my mind when, yeah, no, it's another album we will discuss in the future, but this is also what I realized when they were recording Caramel. Like,
Mm,
seriously, the part of even in these days of days, like this part is my absolute favorite. And also, like the heavy riffs before that, but the riffs, the screamings, the singing,
mm.
everything is just perfect. And then I realized again, holy shit, that was Vessel himself.
And
But
the
I'm still
blast beats from
curious.
two.
I'm also still curious who it was playing the probably cello in even in Arcadia.
Mm,
If this
mm.
is also Vessel, Jesus, I'm going feral.
I'm gonna hurt him.
I'm like, Vessel, please give me something of your talent.
Yeah, he
But
is insane.
sometimes I'm also like looking at, I mean, probably that sounds weird, and you can tell me if it's weird, but sometimes I'm just like taking a look at his hands. And his
Hmm.
hands are so beautiful, especially when I
Yeah.
his long fingers playing the keys on the piano.
Hmm.
I don't need ASMR when I have Vessel's fingers in a close up playing the piano because he
No, I
does
get
something
it.
to me in a way I cannot describe. It's so, oh, it's beautiful. And this is why I truly hope we have more music of just probably Vessel playing the piano, like of old songs, of newer songs. I don't care. I just need him to sit at the piano making music and just singing because it's beautiful. Also, like when he's playing the guitar, it's beautiful, truly
Hmm.
beautiful. He's born to make music. He's so
Yes.
talented. Vessel, please just you're perfect the way you are, sweetheart. It's
He's
okay to not be perfect during every ritual, but for me, you are fucking perfect.
Yeah, he's living and breathing music. He is a natural born talent, I feel like. Not to take away from his skill that he obviously worked for, but he is so naturally talented. And also to to get to the topic of hands, it's not weird. He has very such interesting movements also. I always describe it as spidery. The way he moves his hands is so fascinating. And also the way he moves his mouth and his jaw. Maybe that sounds a bit weird, but I'm an introvert and I don't like looking people in the eyes, so I usually focus on the mouth. So seeing how Vessel sings and how his mouth moves and how his jaw moves is so interesting to me also.
And also his Adam's apple, like when he's hitting different notes.
Yeah. The way he moves his mouth, you can the tones he makes and the way he moves his mouth goes so well together. I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah,
it's
but it's fair.
so interesting.
It's totally fair. And I
And
remember when I showed Sleep Token to someone, I just remember this person like listening to Sleep Token, and the first impression I got was like, holy shit, this singer's voice is incredible.
mhm.
It's like, I know. I mean, my mom doesn't like Sleep Token, and she asked Ash and Levin, two other friends from Hungary. Hi, by the way.
Hey.
Um, she literally asked them what is it that you're so obsessed with Sleep Token? I don't get it. Like, I don't get my child's obsession with it. And they tried to explain it to her, but the only thing my mom could tell when I showed her Calcutta, for example, that Vessel has a beautiful voice. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, he does.
Mhm.
Like his voice, especially in Calcutta, is so clean because it doesn't have like any effects. It's just him singing naturally. And I love this. I love
Yeah.
this so much. And experiencing his variety of singing during life rituals is also like an experience for itself.
Mhm.
Since when he's singing something in a high note that you do not expect at that time, wow, or like the little growls he's making, for example, during rain, like it's like when you rain down on, like it's like the rain down on me part.
Rain down on me.
Yeah, oh, holy fuck, I'm weak. Like, I'm so sorry for four at this time when like everyone needs to clap. I just need to record this part because it's so beautiful. I love this part so much. And then he's like singing also like a yeah and like rain down on me, and I'm like, yes, please come here. And then also like having the growlings of Ivy for the last rain down on me. And also the high notes for missing limbs. They are live so incredible. And also on another high pitched level I cannot describe. It's wow.
Hmm. I also love when he goes, uh, take a fucking bite. It's so
Oh, he's
funny.
barking.
Yeah, when he's barking.
King.
It's
I'm
so
waiting for the
funny.
blare during higher. I'm so much waiting for it, but the barking. Oh Jesus, Vessel. I shouldn't simp about you, but I fuck you. You don't
It's
have
fine.
toys.
We are always kind of simping.
Oh,
Also, I wanted to say something about the screams too. Um, you can really hear how he has improved. I wonder if maybe he got advice from Ivy because
he's so cute.
in Infinite Baths, the last scream, he sounded like a fucking viper, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I
True.
almost fell out of my chair when I listened to it. It was insane. And also, I really love how Vessels and Ivy's screams complement each other on stage because Vessel has more of a fry scream and Ivy is growling, and both of those sounds go so well together, and I really love hearing that.
Which is why I need War back again on the set list.
I love War so much.
This is basically the reason why I need War. Does okay, crowd, please judge me, but does it sound stupid when I tell you that I cried when I listened to War for the first time ever live? Like I listened to it at Wembley and I was bawling my eyes out because it was so beautiful for me to listen to Ivy's growlings again.
Nah, it's not weird.
Like I was
Especially
fucking crying.
especially in a concert setting when you hear a song for the first time. I think it's very valid to go emotional even if it's war.
Oh my God. I just remember Wembley where I was like crying my eyes out during Atlantic. Like you can hear when Vesa and I were both crying. Like you can hear him crying and you can hear me loosening my voice for a second or something like that. Holy fuck. I was in pain and I was experiencing so many emotions during Wembley because the time of my stay abroad was shit most of the time.
Yeah, I remember.
But still, oh fuck. Like Wembley is another topic, I guess. Like experiencing sleep token life in general is another topic.
Mm.
But I truly hope that the boys will play older songs again as they did with Thread the Needle. Like I am still impressed how Ivy's nailing the riffs in Thread the Needle, in Nazareth, and whatsoever, like in projects where he wasn't involved because he wasn't part of this fellowship. This like is incredible. And he's like nailing it as he would be there for like endlessly. Like he's a part of sleep talking from the very beginning, even though he isn't, which is unfortunate, but still it's incredible how he's
Yeah.
mastering the riffs. This also shows how talented our beloved guitarist is. Like, look
Yeah.
at this cutie fucking baby. He's oh my god, I could yap about this guy as well, like endlessly. I mean, if people ask me who's your favorite band member of Sleep Token, I mean, I do have two favorites, obviously, which are obviously Vessel and Ivy, but still I love 2 and 3. I love them all equally, but the way how they are like showing the music, I am weak for guitarists and I'm weak for singers. And this is why I'm very much of a biased person and I'm totally sorry for it, but I still love 2 and 3 as much as I love Vessel and Ivy, even though these two are my favorites.
I would absolutely love to hear Jericho live. Just to hear Vessel yearn his heart out, I would I would be in a puddle on my floor.
Yeah. I mean, if he ever decided to play Jericho live, I will just put up a picture of Marcus from Detroit Become Human for some reason. Because as you just said recently, I also had like this picture plopping in my head. I was like, oh my fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to Sleep Token on repeat when I was like playing it for the 3 days straight. Oh, for fuck's sake, it was so hilarious. I was like, oh, Jericho, oh, Sleep Token. And then during the Jericho arc, I just listened to Jericho for the most time on repeat just to get the vibe. It's like so weird when you're like walking to this old ship tank and then you're just listening to Jericho by Sleep Token.
Valid.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta play this game again.
Before we end this, because we have been at it for quite a while. It's not an original song by Sleep Token, but the cover of Loath.
Oh,
It's
hey, yeah.
so amazing.
But
His
I
voice
prefer,
is so beautiful
yeah,
in
I
the cover.
prefer the Loath cover like a lot more than Heya. I mean, Heya is a beautiful song and he nailed it.
Mm,
But oh, Loath's cover, woo, Is It Really You is in
yeah,
general a very beautiful song,
yeah,
but I love the way how he's singing the chorus. of this song.
Mhm. But also the beginning, how he sings, his voice is so soft and smooth.
Mm.
It's I
Yeah. Oh
just
my
I
God.
just wanna I just wanna take his voice and wrap it in a soft blanket.
Oh,
He
like
sounds
his vocal
incredible.
cords taking out of his throat. And you're like,
He sounds so incredible.
yeah, seriously, this.
Also in Gethsemane, that part also where his voice is so soft. At the
Mm.
end, oh, I could bathe in that voice.
When you,
As we say in German, du kannst dich reinlegen, gell? Ich
oh
könnte
God,
mich
the
in
guy
seine
was
Stimme
so
reinlegen.
German. I am so much
Uh,
dying right now.
I
Oh
could
my God.
lie down in his voice when he just sings in the soft tone without any vocal effects or any strain in his voice. It's so incredible. Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
I am obviously very normal about Vessel.
Totally. You would take his vocal shorts out to bathe in them. Okay. Infinite baths with Vessel's vocal shorts. I see it
Infinite
coming.
Bass reimagined.
Oh my lord. If you
Oh
guys don't
my.
know what infinite baths is, see you again on the episode of Even in Arcadia discussion. Oh my god.
Oh God.
Please, please, please don't rip his vocal cords out. Otherwise, we won't hear his beautiful voice ever again. Otherwise,
I
it will
would
be strained.
I would never.
I hope
It's
you
just
won't.
it's just metaphorical.
I would say that too now.
Excuse me, I would never hurt Vessel. Even though even though with the scavenger hunt for the German side quest, I wanted to hurt him.
Oh god. We gotta talk about this one soon enough again. It was, oh,
Oh my God.
you have
I
no idea, guys, what we were suffering from
with some clues, I just genuinely wanted to take him and
and
who
throw
comes
him
up with
into
that
a trash
shit?
can.
Okay.
Okay, we should stop. The funny thing is like all the time, guys, we're like, okay, we're gonna talk about this and we're gonna talk about that. And then in the end, we're like, oh yeah, even in Arcadia, oh, this song from Take Me Back
We're
to
going
Eden.
off the rails constantly.
I think I think this is pretty normal in a podcast. So as we said, we are very much of a professional. So yeah, I think it's also like very interesting for you and to like also have fun with the way how we are like learning and discussing about it because you would like also add this to our discussion be like, but this is also something we can find in this and that song, and then we're like, oh shit, it's the present time now. It
Yeah.
happens. This is like you can never plan anything. Like you can say what the
No.
main topic is like, and in the end you're like, okay, um, maybe we just derailed again,
But with one topic, we have an idea to not derail, hopefully,
which is
which I wrote you earlier, where we maybe will ask other people on their input
oh yeah, true,
to
true.
not spoil it, to keep it vague.
Do, do, do.
But yeah, do you have anything else to say?
Sleep Token is incredible.
Obviously.
Obviously, the reason why we are here.
Yes.
They are cuties and we love them so much.
And we will never probably stop gushing about them.
Nah. Oh, by the way, before I forget, the old masks of the era of one and two.
Right? The
I can just
pillowcases.
send, I can just say they freak me out, but I guess my favorite picture of Vessel with his old mask is where he's holding that puppy.
Oh, it's so cute.
If you can find it, please add it. It's
Yeah,
oh, it's so cute.
it's cute. But honestly, do you think those were pillowcases actually?
I mean, probably it was so cursed.
They
And
were
the only
very
thing that is
DIY.
still stuck in my head is like this live performance. I don't know where it was. I guess it was probably the download where they're playing Nazareth and they all like also like three had his old mask on and Vessel having this cut version of the very first mask he got
Mm.
and then licking
Yeah.
doing the licking part. And I was like,
My guy was so hammered.
oh, he was like horny. He needed that probably. I was like,
Also,
sweetie, what are you doing?
I think it was the Kolkata video where you can see two playing the drums and he has no eye holes and he's playing blindly and I'm like, how? How does he
How are
do
you
that?
doing these?
Yeah, he is incredible. Like just to simp a little bit for two as well, he is fucking incredible.
Yeah, we probably need to simp like about everyone equally, but I guess we did enough simping for Four and Vessel on this short notice.
But yeah, those masks were cursed, but I kind of like them. It's like
It
it's
gave me a bit
very
of Freddie Mercury. I wanted to say Freddie Mercury for whatever reason. I
Mercury.
had like Freddy Krueger in my head, and then it was like, no, that's also the wrong serial killer. Fucking Jason Voorhees vibes. Now
Yeah, I
I got
just
them
wanted to
right.
say they have this slasher vibe, kinda,
Yeah.
which probably goes well with the whole Nazareth lyrics.
Oh, totally. Definitely. Totally. Oh, yeah. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So, what can we do to finish off this very derailed episode?
Organized. It was very organized,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Sorry.
I came prepared with notes, okay?
I'm proud of you. I was prepared with the magazines.
But we somehow still ended up somewhere else entirely.
We always had a way to like go back to the original
Yeah.
topic. And
Yeah, at least
yet it's
at
like
least.
I guess it's important for us to like find a topic that we can discuss on, and then it's totally fine if we're just like drifting off,
Yeah.
like derailing, and then also like coming back again. Because it's
Yeah.
still like, even though if you're like talking about one and two separately, there's like they still continue to the circle of sleep token.
Yeah.
So there's always a way of getting back to the original topic. But I think it won't happen also when we were talking about sundowning. This place will become your tomb and take me back to Eden, since this is gonna be with such a wide range of songs.
Mm.
Also, like the Eden part.
Mm. With all the callbacks.
Hmm. But I'm thinking of how we should end this episode. Maybe with something our beloved said.
Like, for example.
Nothing lasts forever.
Right. Which also goes back to the very beginning of Sleep Token because that's been a phrase they used since the beginning.
And it is indeed a powerful one.
Yes.
So
Even though
yeah.
sometimes it's scary when they drop it out of nowhere.
Yeah, but still, I'm glad that they are still making music,
Yes.
performing, and I'm desperately waiting for a EU and or UK tour.
Yeah.
So maybe we will someday be able to experience them live together.
Basil, come to Baden-Württemberg, please. if you hear this,
Please do so, mate.
please.
Pretty please. But yeah, what the hell are you doing to our sleep token? Seriously. But yeah, I think we did a lot of yapping. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun. We did, as you can tell. And yeah, have a lovely time zone whenever you're listening to this.
Yeah. Have a good
And
day, have a good night, wherever you are.
I hope it was also very interesting and also funny for you to listen and probably watch when you're just seeing the YouTube version of it. Nothing lasts forever, my friends.
Bye.
Goodbye.